Welcome to Unveiling, where we share the stories of individuals who've achieved good success and even great success in Christ. My name is Adise Jonas Murphy, and I am absolutely thrilled, I am privileged to be able to share with you the story of our special guest for today. Her name is Glorianie Moise, and I've had the privilege of meeting Glorianie through the Seventh-day Adventist movement, particularly in South Florida at the Ambassador Seventh-day Adventist Church, where my husband and I, we serve as the associate ministerial family. So one way I would describe Glorianie is she's definitely a woman of faith. Another way is, she's filled with purpose, lots of purpose, and she's a high achiever. Yeah, she owns her own business. She is a business consultant. She also is an MBA candidate. Yeah, the glory side of things we look at. But before all of this glory, is an individual who've had to endure so much in this life. And we're going to be talking about her journey this afternoon today. So Glorianie, welcome to Unveiling. Glad to have you. Welcome.
I'm glad to be part of this. Hello, how are you?
Thank you so much, Glorianie. We've been talking just a little bit about, leading up to this moment, you sharing your story, and you shared with me that you have been running away from doing this for some time now.
For so long.
For so long.
Yes.
So the question is, what made you decide to share this time around?
I believe that the moment has come.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot keep on running away from it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've done it so many times, and God didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have my story. It's a story that will help people. God gave me a testimony.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't give me the testimony for myself. He gave me the testimony to help others while I'm trying to keep it for myself, and He doesn't like that. So I feel this is the moment that I have to share it.
Yeah.
And I must share it. This is the reason why I'm here today.
Wonderful. And we thank you once again so much for being here. I can't help but hear an accent. I always joke and I say Ambassador is a melting pot, but really it is. So many cultures there. And I know that is a French accent that I'm hearing. So I want you to tell our viewers, which beautiful island do you hail from in the Caribbean?
The most beautiful island.
Come on. We'll say Jamaica, right?
Haiti. Everything is so beautiful. The language, the people, the culture in general. I know a lot of people will get jealous about that. I'm so sorry, because that's where I am confident. Everything that is happening in Haiti, do not let them fool you. This is not us. We are so beautiful, like I am beautiful. Yes, I come from Haiti, a country of resilience.
Yeah, and I'm happy you said that, a country of resilience. The people are known for its strength and its resilience, and that pretty much summarizes your story, your journey. Before we get into it, Glorianie, I would love for you to say your favorite Bible passage in Creole, French Creole, and I am going to guess what it is, even though my French is horrible. I did not do French, but yes, we'll guess.
Je lève mes yeux vers les montagnes, d'où me viendra le secours. Le secours me vient de l'Éternel qui a fait les cieux et la terre.
Did you change the passage on me? Or is it the same one?
I did.
You changed it?
A little bit.
Oh wow. All right, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say, please, before God so loved the world.
No.
No, go again.
Je lève mes yeux vers les montagnes, d'où me viendra le secours. Le secours me vient de l'Éternel qui a fait les cieux et la terre.
All right, so you're going to have to tell us that one here, because
keep guessing. Just one more guess.
One more guess. All right. I don't know. Romans 8:28. No, I'm horrible at this. Let's go. What is it?
Psalm 21.
Repeat it first in English.
Je lève mes yeux vers les montagnes.
In English?
In English.
Uh-huh.
I lift my eyes unto the Lord, where comes from my help.
Oh,
My
Psalm
help comes from
121. Okay,
121,
okay.
yes,
Okay,
Psalm
wonderful.
121,
Well,
yes.
I didn't get it this time around, but definitely next time my French will be better.
Yes.
All right. So, Glorianie, I know you have you're going to be sharing with us your story. It's very layered. And for this very reason, viewers, she's asked specifically that she read it. English is not your first language, but you've done phenomenally well.
Thank you.
To be able to communicate so versely in it. But she's asked to read it, and so we'd love for you to answer the question, Glorianie. Who is Glorianie? Tell us about yourself.
Glorianie is a woman of faith, a resilient woman. I'm a business owner. I did not want to put this first because truly this is not who I am. There was a beginning. I want to start in the beginning before everything that I am right now. Yes, I am a consultant, a business consultant. I am a business owner. People will say, oh, this is the beautiful part of it. But without the past, there would be no Glorianie. There would not be any titles. That's why I do not, whenever you see me, you will not know what I do until I tell you what I do. Because I do not let this go before the person, the person I am. I'm going to take that moment to read a little bit about myself, where I've come from. I'm going to read it. Like I said in the beginning, it has a lot of emotions that's come with it. So by reading it, that will help me.
Sure.
Since the day I was born, my life was not easy, but I believed God had a plan for me to be here. My mom grew up in a poor family. She was 12 years old where she had to leave her parents and move to another city to work as a maid. My dad was already living in the United States. After buying a house, he traveled to Haiti. He felt that he needed someone to marry and have a child. That's when he met my mom near she was living, the place that she was living. They didn't know each other's family. They only dated for 4 days. They were only together for one time. And that's when my mom became pregnant. Talking about sexual active for just one time.
Right.
My dad went back to the US without knowing she was expecting. There was no way for them to keep in touch because back then, they didn't have no way to communicate. They didn't have no cell phones.
Technology.
It was hard. And plus, they didn't know each other's family.
Right.
But he said he knew in his heart that she was pregnant. He believed that was the reason why he went to Haiti. Months later, he came back to look for her. But my mom had already gone back to her hometown because her parents didn't accept her pregnancy. I would not say her parents, the people that she was living with, remember she was working, they wouldn't accept her being pregnant.
Right.
So she decided to go back to her parents. My dad asked the people about her. They gave him the last name and said that last name, it's not very common. So my dad would search my mom by her last name. When my dad found out the last name was 500 miles away from the city where my mom used to live. So he paid some people to help him search for her, which is me. At this time, my name was not Glorianie. He looked for me for 3 years and never gave up. When my dad finally found me, I was 5 years old. He wanted to take me and my mom, because in his mind, he thought that my mom didn't marry to someone else. Because in his mind, he left the United States with the mindset of finding somebody to marry and have a child. Yes, my mom got pregnant. He went back for my mom. Unfortunately, my mom was already married to someone else because she thought that she would never see my dad again.
Right.
So she moved on. So my dad took me and left me to live with my grandma. It was hard for me. It was really hard. Remember in the past, I told you that they didn't know each other's family. So my mom was never introduced to his family. So my dad found me after 5 years, after a lot of struggles, because it was hard for my dad to find my mom. I remember that day. Let me take a moment. I remember that day. I was 5 years old when some strangers showed up to my mom saying that we are here to take that little girl. My mom was scared. My mom said, no, I cannot give you my little girl. You are a stranger. They said that my dad sent them. My mom did not give me away to them. So they went back to the city. My dad was in town, so they went back. So my dad came with them. After a few days, they took me away from my dad, from my mom. This is when the pain started. It was unplanned. My mom didn't know if they were gonna come. So they just showed up at her and they took me. But the plan was not for me to live by myself. It was for both of us to go together. Unfortunately, when my dad found my mom, my mom was already married. So unfortunately, I had to go by myself. So I went to live with my grandma. It was tough for me. Every day I would wake up crying every single day to see where my mom will come. And I remember my grandma used to say that you will never see your mom again. Without knowing the pain that she was causing into my heart. Because I was in deep pain. You would never see your mom again. She was right. She took my mom as a bad person. Without knowing the history. Because my dad didn't tell probably my dad didn't tell her what was going on with the relationship. My dad has, and he thought that he wanted to find someone, but he didn't tell them the story. So they thought that my mom was just someone in the street. So for that reason, I suffered a lot by living with my grandma. I was not a special kid. I did not have this special care. But I remember, without no one introduced to me that there was a God exist, my instinct kept on telling me there was a God. I would go under the bed. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I would go under the bed, crying, praying. But by then, I knew how to read, but not too perfect. I know how to read the little verse.
Right.
I would pray. When they're looking for me, they would find me under the bed. Sometimes when they found me, I'm gonna get beat up.
Right.
What were you doing? Sometimes I have to hide it. I don't want them to know that if I'm praying.
Right.
That is, the pain start from a long time. Every single day I would cry non-stop. Even the kids are playing. Yes, I might be playing with them. And the moment where I don't have the tear, but I'm still crying inside.
Right.
There was a flood that happened back in 2004. This flood, for some reason, God saved me. I was not in this city. God saved me. There was another one back in 2008. In 2008, there was a big flood. People were dying left and right. I remember I spent 3 days on top of a roof. It was not only me. It was a group of people because it was the tallest house in the neighborhood. So we gathered together. We were in the rain, storm, on top of a roof for 3 days with non-stop rain. We did not have an umbrella. We did not have not even a sheet to cover. I was in that storm, and yes.
No, complete your thought, and then I'll ask.
Yes, I was in that storm. While we were on the roof, we were looking at other houses that were collapsing. You had no choice just to pray because you know that you're going to die. There's no way that you're not going to die.
So at this point, you were living with your grandmother?
I was living with my grandmother.
All right, so let's do a quick recap from all you said. So at a very early age, when you came to the realization that, hey, you're here, all you knew was mommy because daddy was out of the picture. Daddy was at that time, he was between the United States, coming back home, trying to search for you. Eventually he found you. The plan was to have you and your mom move, to be with his side of family, but pretty much his side of family came and took you. So you were separated from your mom from very early.
I was, and I was lost again.
Tell me about that lost part. How did you get lost?
I got lost because when my mom was pregnant with me, I was lost for 5 years. So my dad has to search me by my mom's last name to find me.
Gotcha.
So when my dad took me from my mom, they did not make any arrangement to let my mom know where I would be living. So my dad took me, and they didn't have no way to communicate. I went to live with my grandma. Like I mentioned before, my grandma used to tell me, you will never see your mother again.
Yeah.
And in my mind, yes, I would never see my mother again. And I remember after a few years, because my dad came from the United States. My dad went to visit Haiti, and then he said that she has to know her mom. Her mom, I'm going to give her mom permission to come and visit her at least 2 or 3 times a year. My grandma was like, oh, there's no way.
So why do you think they tried to keep you from your mom? What was the reason?
It's the history, because as a mother, you have your son.
Yeah.
And your son come to introduce you with a child. You didn't know if you didn't know if your son had a girlfriend. You didn't know if your son married to someone. So now all you're gonna come is the child.
Okay.
You have to take care of this child.
Yeah.
So that's why, and that was not her fault for her to behave like that.
Right.
That was not my grandma's fault. By growing up, I understand that it was not my grandma's fault. It was probably my dad's fault, because he was the one that was supposed to inform them. Yes.
So you faced separation and loss pretty early in your life. Obviously had a huge impact on you. Looking back on things now, what would you say were some of the major impacts? How did that affect you even to this point?
It affects me because I did not have no parents' love at all. I grew up without love, I would say, because I never found someone that would say, you are beautiful, you are smart.
Right.
Everything I had to do it. I would say that I'm a God dependable, because everything I have to go and search, pray. So, everything come with prayer.
Glorianie, I'm listening to you, and I'm putting everything together, because even you just mentioning the fact that You don't know how, but you knew God from an early age. You knew it.
Yes.
And I'm like, God just puts in each of his children a little piece of him. Well, a big piece of him, but there's a little piece of him that resides in us. And even in moments when we're not sure how we're making it through tough circumstances or challenging moments, his hand, divine hand through providence, is guiding us along the way. And this is what we're seeing, God's hand in your life, even in adverse conditions and situations. So, okay, so you've endured separation and loss from your family twice, your mother twice. You're living with your grandmother. You talked to us about the flood and pretty much everyone around you dying, and you're there praying for their life. What happens next? Take us through to your teenage years. Were you in school at this time? Were you going to school? What was that interaction like?
I was in school, but because of life circumstances, I had to stop. I had frequent stops along the way. After the flood, we survived. I will say that I'm a survivor.
Right.
God saved me. The whole neighborhood, it was only 3 houses that got saved. All the neighborhood, everyone died. So after that, I went to a place called Porto Prince, the city.
The capital?
Yeah, the capital. I went to the capital. I had a little relief there. For a good 2 years. I had a little relief. I did not stress as much as I used to stress. Right. But before I left to go to Port-au-Prince, I will tell you that I did see my mom. My mom came to visit, but my grandmother, before the flood, my grandmother was only allowed it for one time a year for 3 days. She cannot last for more than 3 days. And when she comes, I cannot have no private time with her.
Hold on, stop. So your mommy came to visit you every year for 3 days?
For 3 days. Once a year.
350. How many days do you have in a year? 365, that's it.
Yes.
So 3 days out of 365, you would see her?
Yes.
All right. So obviously, that must have disturbed your relationship with your mom. I mean, not being able to be around her frequently. Of course, the love is still there.
Yes.
But you haven't had the time to grow with her and to bond with her. So how did that affect your relationship with your mom?
It brings more love. Yes, it brings more love. I knew that I had a mother. And that was the only reason why I was crying the whole time, because I want to see my mother. And I want to live with my mother. So the whole time, even we were separated, in my heart, my mom was always in my heart. So when I came here, after the capital, my dad brought me here. And I was like, the first thing I'm going to do, now I have the freedom, I'm going to bring my mom. I'm going to bring my mom.
So you still knew where she was living and all of that during this time?
Yes. Thank God, I found a way to communicate with her. I found a phone number. When I had that phone number, that is whenever I go out, whenever I'm not in the house, I will pay. They used to have something called Tap Tap. I would pay like $5 to call her. So at that moment, I felt encouraged because now I can communicate with her. I had a way to communicate. When I came here, I had a way to communicate. So me and her, we were still communicating. But I did not know a lot about her.
Right.
I will start knowing her when she comes to America.
Don't go there yet. If you're just tuning in, you are tuned into Unveiling. I'm having, don't worry about it. I'm having a discussion with Glorianie Moise, and Glorianie is sharing her story. And bear in mind too, this is the first time that she's sharing publicly her story, her journey to success. But of course, like everyone else's journey, we've had to along the way endure some amount of obstacles or challenges. And so Glorianie was pretty much just sharing with her the fact that sharing with us rather, the fact that she's had to endure separation and loss from her mom, her parents, but her mom in particular, and what that did to her from the beautiful island of Haiti, having to endure so much near-death experiences at a young age, and God preserved her, of course, for a purpose. So Glorianie, take us through something pivotal in your life happens. You move from Haiti to the United States. How did that happen? I know Daddy was ahead of you in the process, being in the States, but how did that transition take place for you?
It was not easy. That would be another separation again. Remember I mentioned that in Porto Prince I had a good 2 years.
Yes.
We lived where I was not stressing.
Yes.
So now the people that I was connecting with, now I'm going to separate from them. It was hard for me. So when I came, especially I'm going to live with a stranger. My dad. Yes, he's my dad. He has done a lot for me. As a father, I will give him credit. He's a good dad.
Right.
No matter what happened, he's a good dad. Why? Because after he couldn't find my mom for 5 years, he was doing back. Let me go ahead and be precise.
Sure.
He was doing back and forth from here to Haiti just to find me.
Wow.
A year, he told me that in a year it would go like 4 times. He would travel 4 times and without finding an answer, and he still had the strength to come back and to restart again by next year. I would say that he was a great man.
Yeah.
Because he knew that he had a child out there.
Right.
And he did what he could do.
He pursued.
So when I transitioned from Porto Prince to here, the first few months was not easy for me. The main thing that made it wasn't too easy for me, it's because I had a boyfriend. You know how it is.
Talk to me.
I had a boyfriend. When I went to Porto Prince, because like I said, I grew up without love.
Right.
So I was looking for purposes. I thought that I could find a purpose in a man.
Right.
Because I did not grow up with my father.
Right.
So I had a boyfriend. We had a great relationship. So when I moved, my dad asked me if I had a boyfriend. And I didn't want to lie. I said yes. That yes. Oh my God. Going to start another episode in my life again. Because I said yes, I had a boyfriend. Back then I didn't understand why my dad was so nervous for him to do whatever he did to me. But now growing up,
You get it.
I get it. Remember, we were separated for a long time. He thought that it was going to be the month for him, the moment for him and me. And now you're going to be talking about boyfriend and the age.
How old were you at this time?
I was 18.
Okay.
He was saying that, you know, in my country, you have to be at least 26, 28 to be dating someone.
Was that really real? Or
Yes, it will.
Okay.
It's in the mind. 18 is
That
still
still happens today in
a
Haiti?
baby.
That kind of changed, Gloria.
Change, yeah, there's a lot
yeah.
of changes, yes. So, let me go back. Yes, it was not easy for me. It was not easy. So, my dad did a lot. He did not kick me out.
Right.
I want to say it. My dad did not kick me out, but every day he would come in and say that 2 adults don't live in the same place. You have to find your own place. So I made a choice. I made a choice. I moved out of his house. Thank God, God was still guiding me. I did not go on the street. I did not go with some, bad influences. I did not have no bad influences. I had another mother that picked me. She was a stranger.
Right.
Sent by God. She treated me like no one ever treated me since I was born. So I was okay. I was okay. She treated me well. So this is when I kind of trying to find some good sense. I was still in school. Despite of everything, I was still in school. And I would tell you, I was always the smartest kid in the classroom. Yes, I was always smart. I don't like to talk because of what I didn't grow up. I did not have privilege to talk. I did not have a privilege to talk. My job was to hide under the bed, pray, and cry.
Right.
That's all I was doing when I was a kid. So I'll tell you that like I said, I found a mother. And then this is when I started going back to school. When I was with my dad, I was still in school. I was 18, and thank God, I still did a year of high school here.
Okay.
I did a year, just 1 year at Berndeson High School. So, yes, I'm so sorry. It's kind of emotional. I can't keep it. So I would say that I was in school. I went for pharmacy tech. I was trying to find, because I didn't know what I like. After graduating high school, I wanted to do something, so I went for pharmacy tech. I started as pharmacy tech. I was working. I worked in the field for just 2 years, and after I gave up, I didn't like it. I went to nursing school. Nursing school, I did it through, but except for the exam, I do not have a license.
Right.
I didn't even try it.
Right.
I decided, no, this is not what I want.
Right.
So I stopped. I said, God, I don't want to keep going to school. The reason why I stopped, yes, I have the heart to care. But I was working in the hospital. Yeah, I was in the hospital I worked in the hospital back then. When I was in nursing school, I worked in the hospital. So I didn't like the environment. I didn't like it. The people, they were nice. And the patient too, I always had good time with the patient, especially when it comes to care. Because I've been gone so much pain, through so much pain. I understand when somebody's saying that they're hurting. I understand, and I feel like if I was a nurse, I would be one of the greatest nurse. I just don't do it because I feel like I can do something greater than the nurse.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Listen, I've heard how rigorous those nursing programs are. I mean, I have a couple of close friends who are nurses, but it's no joke. And for you to have gone through that and say, hey, well, yeah, not my calling. It tells me a little bit about your strength and your intellect too.
Yes.
So. Okay, so you came to the States and you're trying to find your way. You moved out of Daddy's house. At what point did you discover your love for business? At what point did business come along the way? Or should we go to your love first? I feel like the people
Let's go to the love.
Yeah, let's talk about the love.
Yes, I think this is the big part of the story. Let's go to the love.
So talk to us about that. You've been searching for love.
Yes.
And it suddenly comes your way. How did that happen?
Terrible.
My Lord.
Terrible. That's why I learned, no matter what you are going through, never make choices by yourself. This choice was by myself because I was looking for purposes.
Right.
Yes, I knew that God exists. Yes, I was still praying, but I forgot one thing that I forgot to pray about a husband. I did not pray for her for a good husband. I just went, how did that start? Yes, we were in school and yeah, it happened. So when I came here, this is when it was serious because I missed him.
Right.
And I said, if I find a way to bring him here closer to me, I will. So my dad brought me here. I was already a citizen because I came here at my birthday was going to be on Tuesday, which was May 11th. I entered America May 8th.
Okay.
So I was not 18 yet.
Gotcha.
Close to 18.
Gotcha.
So because of that, I had privilege to have a citizenship under my dad. So I was a citizen. So I said, oh, the process is going to be quick. So I applied for him and he came. He came in 2014. The first 3-6 months was fine. After that,
Hold on. So you're living together at this point?
yes, because I entered.
Okay.
Yeah, I brought him to America and we were living together.
All right, cool.
But I got married. I forgot to tell about this part.
Right.
So I went back to Haiti back in 2013. I married him. Was it 2000? I'm sorry, I'm
One
not
of the
good at
years.
years. Yeah, one
of
of
the
the
years.
years, but I don't remember. I think it was 14, around this. I don't remember exactly. So I went back. I married him. Married him with a mind just to bring him here.
Right.
But yes, I had the love, but I was still going to do, a big celebration here.
Was this the same person you fell in love with?
The same person I
Okay.
fell in love in Haiti. So what I did, I brought him here. The first 3-6 months were fine. After, I did not know what a relationship looked like. I did not know nothing about relationship. Remember, I told you I did not grow up with my mother.
Gotcha.
I grew up with my grandma. And my grandma's house, my grandma wasn't married. My grandpa passed away when
So you never had the example of
I
relationships?
never had an example of relationships. Never. So, this is when another problem started. So I thought that my birth part, my childhood part, was the biggest part of my life.
No, so wait till marriage.
Oh my gosh. It is. And I want whoever's listening to this, like I said, I did not choose on my own to come and share this testimony. It wasn't God's plan. I went through a lot. I was still in my 20s. It was hard. The first 5 years, it was hard. The only thing I had left was only God. I did not have no friends. Because of this relationship, I had a few friends, but when he came, I was like, you know what? I don't need no friends. I'll just connect with him. So I made the decision too early. Wow. So whoever were my friends, so I gave up on them.
Right.
I only wanted to focus on him without knowing what would happen later. Let me tell you, I went through a lot. The first 5 years, I was still in church. I was in church, but I think it was a test. Not I think. Now that the test it has passed, I would say that it was a test.
Right.
It was tough. For me to get out of this situation, no one could help me. No counselor on this earth could help me, but God. I would go into prayer days after days. This relationship taught me how to pray. I never knew how fasting. I read about fasting, but I never experienced it. But that relationship, I feel like for me to go through what I was going through, it requires a lot of fasting and prayer. So I did a lot of fasting and prayer. I would go for days without eating. I would be seeking God's face for God to help me go through what I was going through.
So question, and especially for persons who are viewing, right? Hearing you talk about the challenges that you've had to endure in marriage and so on. I mean, here's a question. Why never just leave? If it was that bad, why didn't you just get out of it?
I could not.
Tell me why.
I did not have enough experience. I didn't know. First, yes, it was bad. I didn't know. Remember, I said I didn't know what relationship was like. I didn't know what to expect. So yes, I was married to him. I didn't want to just go and walk away to have another start again.
Gotcha.
Because I don't know how. Because I've gone through so much. I don't know. I did not want to. Yes, I chose him by myself, but I did not want to get out of it without an answer, without a word from God.
And that's why I asked the question the way I did, because viewers, let me tell you, you see, a lot of times we make decisions to enter, especially into the covenant of marriage. You know, we make the decisions for whatever reason, be it love, be it even for selfish gain, just not wanting to be alone, whatever your choice is. But we make decisions. Some of them are not necessarily the right ones. We enter in their challenges, and the question then becomes, well, let me just jump out, or how can I jump out? But I deliberately asked Glorianie the question this way because I want you to understand that even in the midst of turmoil, even in the midst of pain, God still has his purpose. He still has, and his purpose is greater than your discomfort at times. Because you mentioned that this is where you learn to pray. This is where you learn to seek the face of God. So you decided to stick through the marriage.
I decided to.
And what happened?
Yes, great question. Yes, I decided to stay because I had a word. God told me it was not the moment. It was not the moment. The first 5 years I was trying to have a child. I could not. In the middle of the storm, I was still trying because I'd be like, oh, I'm married. I don't want to. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just minding my business.
Right.
I was still praying for a child.
Yeah.
So Elijah came after 5 years of marriage. That 5 years, even Elijah, God gave me Elijah. That's why I call him Elijah. His name come with a purpose. I was going through all of these problems. I was still on my knees praying. At that moment, I was in nursing school when Elijah came. So God gave me the first child. So after the first child, I said, probably we didn't have any kids. I thought that was the problem.
Right.
After I had my child, my kid, Elijah, my first son, I thought that I would have a relief. 16 days after birth, started something else. Remember, I applied for my mom. My husband came first. The reason why I brought my husband first was not because I prioritized my husband, then my mom, because I really needed my mother. I did prioritize him so we could make arrangement when my mom come. Here it's not the same in Haiti. You have to make arrangements for the bills. So I said, if I have a support, me and my husband, we are working probably when she comes, it will be easier. So after 16 days, after I had Elijah, I gave birth to Elijah. My mom came. Oh, yes, I will have a relief. So now, I was praying for a child. God gave me my son Elijah. I was praying for my mom to come. My mom did come. I was happy. After 16 days. My mom came on a Friday. I was happy. The house was on fire because I was happy I had my mom. Sunday morning, I woke up at this. My mom found my mom on the floor. While she was on the floor, she felt. She was saying, I can't see. Somebody help me. I can't see. In Creole. She said, oh my gosh, I am totally blind. On Sunday morning. On Saturday, remember my mom came on Friday. My mom came on Friday night. We did not have time to spend on Saturday because I was so happy. On Saturday, since I had my son, people would come to visit, after church. We had a lot of visits on Saturday, so I did not have time to spend with my mom on the first Sabbath. We didn't go to church because, I was home. I just gave birth to my son. So, at this Sunday morning, when I would try to, it would be at least the second day with my mom, because on a Saturday I was so busy with visitors, I didn't have time for my mom. So on Sunday morning, early in the morning, my mom said she was blind, totally blind. You don't know. All I remember, I said, God, am I going to survive this? Just tell me, give me a quick answer. I remember I said that. Just give me a quick answer, and I want to hear you right now. Tell me if I'm going to survive this. If you see that I cannot, I will not be able to survive. Just do something right now. I remember I made this prayer.
What did you do?
My mom was like, no, because I was praying in Creole. My mom said, no, you don't talk like that. Don't talk like that. I believe in God. So my mom was crying. Oh, is it the last time? She was crying. She said, even she was saying that she believed in God, but she was crying. She was saying that God preserved her vision to see me one last time.
Right.
And when she was saying that, and I was like, oh no. I made some phone calls because I didn't believe.
Right.
My mom came okay.
Right.
I know she used to have a headache in Haiti, but I don't know if it was that serious. So when she came, I made some phone calls. Now start again. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
That's all right.
So I made some phone calls. Somebody said, wait for me, I'm coming. I had a eye surgery at Bascom Palmer. I'm going to take you to that hospital. I couldn't drive. And I told the person when. I asked the person, when are you going to take me? He said, on Tuesday. Tuesday? Can we wait on Tuesday? He said, that's my only day off, on Tuesday. My mom was blind.
Sunday.
The whole day on Sunday, she was blind. Monday, she was blind. So I would be carrying my mom. I had a baby. While I'm trying to care for my baby, trying to care for my mom, and I was still in school. Yes, I had birth, but I still had assignments to do.
Plus, the marriage wasn't where you wanted it to be.
It was not. It was not. I would say it was not.
Yeah.
The husband was still here, but yes, I don't like to blame people for everything.
No,
he
I'm
was
just
helping.
saying challenges on every side.
Challenges in everything. Yes. But the husband, he was there, but he was not supportive in the house.
Gotcha.
But he was working 2 jobs to pay the bills. Yeah, he was. That's the only good part about him. Even we had some problems, he always pay all of his bills without no problem. So on Tuesday morning, the guy took us to Bascom Palmer. So we went to Bascom Palmer. They did all kind of tests without asking me for insurance. Remember, my mom came on Friday. Yes, my mom came on Friday without asking me for no insurance.
Right.
They were doing tests left and right.
Yeah, man.
To see what caused her to be blind. After all the tests that they did, they didn't find nothing from the outside. So the doctor said probably it's in the brain. So when they took her for an MRI, it was a tumor. The tumor was pressing the nerves. That's why she became blind. So when they told me it was a tumor, I was in nursing school.
Right.
I know what tumor. For me to go back home with that. And I said, God, how am I going to make it home? My mom has a tumor. But thank God, but God was in control. God, oh my God, I love. All that I'm saying right now is to glorify the name of God. So they said the tumor was too big. She couldn't last they would not take chance for another 24 hours.
Right.
So she had to go for an emergency surgery.
In that moment.
So when I heard emergency surgery, they did not know they didn't know what kind of test, what kind of tumor it was. So I went home the night because I left Elijah with someone. So I went home and I was praying, God, please, if it's a tumor, if you want my mom to live again, please do something. Make sure it's not a cancer one. Yes, it's still a cancer, but not metastasis. I told God to please make it a benign. So tomorrow morning, early in the morning, they called me. It was a benign tumor. It was a benign tumor for real. So they took my mom for surgery. After the surgery, I thought that I would have a relief. Yes, after the surgery in the recovery room, I saw my mom. She saw me because the doctor said the moment that they took the tumor out of her brain, she should be able to see, but not 100%.
Right.
So yes, in the recovery room, she could see me. She found her vision back. So after the surgery, this is when another storm started again. My mom was in the hospital at Hospital, University of Miami, they did not have a lot of Asian nurses. So they would need somebody to translate. Even they use the tablet, but it looks like sometimes the Creole is not the same as I would translate. And plus again, they needed a family member because my mom was new in the country. She didn't have a social security. She didn't have nothing. They did not have no history for her. So they would prefer a family member. I don't have any sisters. I don't have any sisters here. No brothers. I'm the only one here. With God's help. So I would go to the hospital every day. That is every single day. My mom stayed in the hospital for 27 days. If I'm not mistaken, I think 27 or 28 days. She was hallucinating at the hospital, pulling every IV. So for somebody to be hallucinating for past 20 days, it's a lot. So in my mind, I thought that they touched something that they were not supposed to touch in her brain, that she was crazy. That was another stress day by day. And I was still have to deal with a baby, with my mom. I was doing back and forth all the way to to Lauderdale, from Lauderdale Lakes to every single day.
It's like over an hour or so?
Over an hour, yes. With traffic. With traffic's over an hour. So I would come home. When I come, my day would start from 7 in the morning because this is the time I have to be in the hospital. She doesn't have no sitter because she did not have any insurance. So to leave the hospital whenever she fall asleep, no matter the drugs that they gave her couldn't work, she would not go to sleep until sometimes 2 or 3 in the morning. So I have to leave the hospital between 2 or 3 in the morning. The earliest one time she did, I think it was like midnight. Most of the days was always 2 in the morning. And tomorrow, I have to rush to get there at 7. When my mom came home, let's just leave this to make the story short. So when my mom came home, I thought that everything would be fine. Every 3 days, 2 days, I had to go to the emergency. Because you leave her for a moment, she would faint on the floor. Her blood sugar, blood pressure. One time I took her to the emergency and her blood sugar was 716. And she did not have a stroke. Some things, they are unbelievable. She did not have a stroke with a sugar 716. She should be in coma. So I just glorify God.
How is mommy today?
She's doing great in the name of Jesus. She's doing fine. We've gone through a lot of pain. She's doing fine in the name of Jesus. She does not have her full vision, but she can see. She's doing good in the name of Jesus.
So, Glorianie, I mean, okay, so we've gotten our fair share of view of some of what you've had to endure in your life. And mind you, your story is still being written. But you mentioned, seeing that guiding hand of God. What would you say was the most pivotal point in your journey where God was concerned? At what point did you decide that you were going to surrender your life totally, get committed to Him through baptism, and start serving Him? When did that happen?
He happened first when I was in Haiti. I did not raise on a Seventh-day Adventist church. But first, my mom, when my dad took me away from my mom, I was 5 years old. So I used to go to church on Saturday. So I was already a Seventh-day Adventist. If you ask me, I always tell people I was born in the church.
Wow.
Even from the time that I was living with my mother, I was still a Seventh-day Adventist. When they, I suffered for that too. When they cook with pork, I will not eat. No matter how hungry I was, I will not eat. And if I give them explanation, I'm going to get beat up.
Of course.
So I keep it secret. So I, sometime when I was in Porto Prince, I decided to commit my life to God. I went to a church in secret They thought that I was out in the street, but I went to a church. I used to go to church in secret on Saturdays. They thought that probably I'm in school. No school. Glorianie never used to go to school on a Sabbath. So I went to a church and they were preaching. I got baptized.
So God led you to that point of baptism. There are tons of people watching this interview, Glorianie. What words do you have for someone who's going through it, left, right, center? Storm here, storm there, storm everywhere, one thing after the other, feeling as though, life has dealt them a raw deal, probably separated from family, dealing with grief. What words do you have?
The first word would be stop. Freeze for a moment. Even you see that everything is falling apart. Stay in the middle of it. Stop. That stop doesn't mean that you're going to stop, but it's just to reflect. That reflection, I will pray for someone, even if you don't know about God. I pray for you that reflection reflect God. Even you don't know about God, just think about everything that in this world. There was a hand that made all of these things that you were looking or watching. Just stop for a moment. Ask God. Pray. Sometimes it can be just one word. God, show me the way. Remember, you have storms. You're probably in the middle of the fire. Show me a way to get out of it. And I'm pretty sure that it will do it for you the same way that it did it for me. In the middle of the storm, I was still mindful that a God was exist. I would pray. And to go back to what Addie's asked me, how did I get out of this relationship, all of these problems? I was going through a lot, but I did not make a decision on myself. I prayed for God to show me the way. From 2015, if I'm not mistaken, to 2020. From 2015 to 2024, August last year, I finally find the word. God said, moved on. I moved on, not on my own, because God told me to do so.
Glorianie, you are an inspiration to many. A young woman who's been through so much. And this isn't even half of Glorianie's story, but we have to have her come back, another time here to Unveiling. But I just want to use this opportunity to encourage those of you who are feeling forsaken in the moment, that we serve a God who will turn situations around. And even in bad, he's still doing good. Even in what feels uncomfortable, what feels dismal, what seems hopeless, he is still, through his, I always said this, his providential hands, his care, weaving things into a brighter future for us. It's not always how we start our journey, is it?
No.
It's always how we finish it. And
Yes.
we're delighted, Glorianie. So you're an MBA candidate. God continue to be with you. And next time we talk to you, you'll be finished with this degree. Probably onto your doctorate somewhere, doing something, owning 10 other businesses. And of course, remembering those of us on the other side of life.
Yes.
Appreciate it. But thank you so much. We appreciate you.
No problem.
And for you viewers, remember to like, to share, and of course, subscribe. My name is Adise Jonas Murphy. Thanks for joining me on Unveiling. Until next time, God bless you.